Hi, how you doing? After the new additions and all the working out of the bugs and getting the bass in perfect shape, as perfect as it can get, here we are again. The video everybody seems to have been waiting for. 6 people have been waiting for this. Here we go. Got the new black Attitude 3 Limited, hand built with the help of some machinery and hand finished, hand painted, not with a brush. I'm sure they painted it with a sprayer. And the countersunk bridge, definitely something everybody should look into. It's pretty cool. The new hardware is really good too, except for I didn't like the volume knobs, so I changed them. And I didn't also like the volume pots inside. They looked a little cheap to me, so I changed them out to CTS volume pots 500K. And this is still a push-pull, but it's a CTS push-pull. A lot more beefy, stronger pot, bigger parts, and even a bigger hole that you have to drill into the pick guard. The one is almost big enough, but not quite. I've also bought the kind of knobs, the actual outside knob part that you can put on with a set screw instead of the pressure fit ones that have a plastic kind of sheath inside with, you just kind of push it on there and pull it off. It seemed a little cheap to me, so I changed that out too. Other than that, everything's the same as the day I got it, except the strings. Put Rotosound 66 on there with the 110 to 43. And then now we go over to the rig. The rig has the new pedal, finally. Took me a little longer to acquire it than I had hoped. Money was tight after 2 Keeley pedals, a third Keeley pedal, which is a Seafoam Plus vibrato chorus, and some new wirelesses too. I got some Carvin wirelesses just to bide my time till I can afford something better. The Pedalboard also had an addition of the ISO 5 power supply because I tried it with the linking power supply where you link one power wall wart thing to 6 outputs and then you chain it all around, and theoretically it worked perfectly until that one power supply went bad on me, and then show's over. So I decided to bite the bullet, spend $100 on the Pedal Power by Voodoo Lab. Got the ISO 5. A lot of reasons for that. One of them is it has several different output options for voltage. And since the Billy Sheehan pedal can handle up to 18 volts, 12 volts, I have that on the 12 volt output. And then this pedal here, this little green one, can also handle a higher voltage. If you put the 18 volt in, you get more headroom on the power of the pedal, and you get a better sweep from what I heard, and it also can handle the voltage. So I put 18 volts on that instead of a 9. This is a 9 volt pedal, gets its own isolated power. They each have their own isolated power, 5 outputs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so that's why it's called the ISO 5. They recommend, although you can use the 9 volt or the 18 ISO together, but then they become non-isolated. So I'm using that the way they told me. 5 outputs, 5 pedals. There you go. That explains that. All the settings are close to the pictures I took at Dog Camp 2015. And the pedals are ran a specific way that may or may not be the way Billy runs them, but I thought in the spirit of the old days of how Billy used to run them, I decided that this was the way to go. These two pedals, the noise gate and the bass mid control, are in the drive side of the Billy Sheehan pedal, and the compressor is in the clean side. And the Seafoam chorus is after everything, so I still get chorus on both the clean and the distortion, and it doesn't do any phasing problems because it's taking them both the same way. Even if I have distortion and clean on at the same time, which if I have distortion, I always have clean on at the same time. And if I have clean on only, it still gets the chorus. It just seems to be something that I like on the sound almost at all times. I never turn any of this off. The only thing I turn off is distortion. So I basically have two sounds. I have the clean sound and the distortion sound over top of it. And I've decided that I'm pretty much going to leave the boost on almost all the time. So whenever I'm kicking on distortion, I'm kicking on distortion with the boost, which goes up to, I believe, 9 dB of boost. But that's only 9 dB of drive and not volume. So when you turn off the boost, actually the volume goes down a little bit, but what really goes down most is the drive. So it just mellows out a little bit, not much, because I kind of have it I have it dimed on the inside all the way to as much gain as you can get, which is that 9 dB. And then it works in conjunction with the knob that's already on the outside. So the more you turn that up, the more drive you get. And now it's to the point where it is right on the verge of just howling. So I think that's about where I want it, right on the verge of howling. So when I turn on, this is just the clean sound, no bottom end, and then I'm going to click on the distortion. And it'll just go for hours. It might be just the bass too, because I turned off the distortion. It's still going. Still going. If I turn on the bottom, it's still going. So it's a great, well put together instrument, extremely well, probably bordering on spectacular. The hardware, top notch. It doesn't look like you can get replacement parts anywhere though, because it's that smoky chrome, black chrome hardware, not black hardware and not chrome, somewhere in the middle. Kind of cool. Very specialized looking. So that's kind of cool. It was even a little difficult for me to find these knobs, but Amazon came through. There's another ad for Amazon. I got a lot of these things from Amazon if I didn't get them directly from the manufacturer. Got the Keeley pedals directly from Keeley in Oklahoma, and all three of them. And ISP pedal, I believe I also got from Amazon. And BMC I got from Amazon. It's EWS BMC pedal, made in Japan. And I got the, believe it or not, the new Billy Sheehan pedal I also got from Amazon. So we're looking at almost everything, even the power supply, Amazon, except for the Keeley pedals, which I got from Keeley. Great company, by the way, top notch. They were on top of the shipping and everything the whole way. They got everything to me really fast within like only a couple of days. Awesome company, great pedals. I can totally see why Billy would use them. I got the Hartke amps directly from Sam Ash, who they're with Samson Technologies. I guess they're all affiliated somehow. And the rack is OSP. I believe it's made in China. But hey, whatever. All right. I have a switch pedal down here. One of the only surviving parts of my old Ampeg rig, Ampeg switch pedal. It's working like a charm. And there's one more piece in the back. You can't see it. The Rolls tiny two-way crossover. Crossover around. There's no marking for the number, so I don't really know. It goes between 275 and 325 or something like that. So I'm going to call it about 300 cycles. And it could, it's very subjective. So you can set those for whatever. Also a product made in the USA. Most of this stuff is made in the USA, except for Japan for a few things. I think the decimator is American. I don't know where that's from, but the Keeley pedals are made in America. The obviously the Billy Sheehan pedal is Sweden, but I think it's made in China, which doesn't really matter. It's the only place you can get it, so that's where it has to come from. No problem. All right, little talk about signal chain. Everything's direct. 2 lines, one from the Hartke amp, the HA 5500 is going directly to the mixer, and the low-end amp is not really even in the chain. I'm listening to it through a speaker behind me that you can't see because it's behind the curtain, and I'm also listening to the high amp through another speaker behind the curtain that you can't see, and the bottom amp is not even in play with what we're listening to. What we're listening to is a radial DI with the Keeley compressor going directly in it from my bass. And that's great for, I guess, soundman purposes, because you can tweak your amp on stage and not have them worry about anything out front. It's not going to change anything. That's really important on stage, and it's also important for this recording. So my volume knob, the gain, master volume for both amplifiers does not affect anything that's going to the mixer. So I could crank it up to high heaven and it wouldn't affect the recording, or it wouldn't affect the live show, unless, of course, the PA wasn't as strong as it needed to be, and my amps could actually compete with a 10,000 watt PA, which I've heard from cynical people that I could, or that anyone could if you have a Hartke amps blasting out 1,500 watts of bass. Anyway, all the settings, like I said, are similar but not exact to the pictures that I took at Dog Camp of Billy Sheehan's rigs and settings at the time, 2015, right before the new Hot Streak record came out, a couple months before that. And he was still basically rocking the paper cone speakers by Hartke, the AK, which are harder to find nowadays, both in America and around the world, which is why he's now touring with the high drive stuff. And that sounds good too. I'm more of a paper person myself, so I went with the paper cone stuff, and now I guess there's no turning back because I can't afford the other ones just yet either. But I'm keeping them nice in the equipment van. Have covers on them and everything, but that's for another time. And I probably showed a picture of the covers anyway. So let's get to playing, which is why you're all here. Here's my clean sound with no bottom. And no chorus. I'm going to turn on the chorus. You'll notice that all the harmonics pop really great because of the construction of the bass, and the compressor is really helping those frequencies pop out. And then as I turn on the bottom, everything just sounds amazing on this bass, because it's apparently 50 years old the day you buy it. So it's really the body wood is done with that ARE resonance and sap burning and whatever they do, and pressure and heat and whatever turns a regular old piece of wood into a diamond. And now I'm gonna play some distortion stuff, and here's that. Forgot my bottle of water again. There's a little Oblivion from the Winery Dogs, and I took a little guff for that, for not knowing that at dog camp, but the album hadn't come out yet, and there was no real way to get Bottom End except for watching the YouTube videos. So there was no way to really learn every little part of it, and even at dog camp, Billy played the song 2 or 3 times, maybe 4, with even some of the guys who didn't know the album arrangement yet, so it was kind of funny. But now that everybody got it, everybody has the record now, and everybody knows the arrangement. So now I'm just looking for some guys from New Jersey to play the song with, which would be nice. We'd just get together instead of playing it alone in our basements. We'll get out there and jam some Winery Dogs, some new Winery Dog stuff. Guitar players and drummers out there, yes, I'm talking to you, Drew, and I'm talking to you, Crispy, You know who you are. Let's do this. All right. Any other questions about the rig? Go ahead and type them up there, and I'll see what I can answer for you. I knew everybody was very anxious to hear this, as was I. I got the pedal only a couple days ago from Amazon, so I was waiting. I was originally going to do it with the new bass and the old pedal, but I said, you know what? Let me wait, and I'll wait, and I'll wait, and everybody, thanks for waiting, everybody. So we got that going for us. And it looks like about time for me to call it. And I'm really thirsty, and my throat is really dry from talking. So let me just play a little thing for you, and I'll be out of here. You'll never believe how close to the record this sounds. Last video with that, so let's not end this video with that too.